three are, let us say, well integrated. So we cannot say this versus that. Only do networking but don't study.
What do you think is more important during an MBA? Grades, networking, or exposure?
One may ask question, what is the use of classroom teaching? But I am sure that classroom teaching will never become redundant. It will rather evolve further and further with the help of technology. Among all four parts of Vedas, I am the Samved. Veda, Samvedo Asmi. Samveda Asmi means I am among all the Vedas Samved, because Samved is in poetry form.
What's the future shape of Indian management system? So, good afternoon, Mr. Pawan sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Abhikya Mittal. I'm from IIM Trichy, and this is just a monologue conversation that we are having. So I'll just shoot up the questions that CATKing students have asked to you. From IIM Indore to MDI Gurgaon to IIM Trichy, what's the one challenge that remains constant no matter the position or the institution?
Well, at IIM Indore, I worked as professor. For a short span of time, I was also director in charge of IIM Indore. And then I got opportunity to be director of MDI Gurgaon and now director of IIM Trichy. What is that one thing that is constant? One constant thing is basically set of 4 activities. That is, the set is having 4 activities. One is assimilating knowledge. Students assimilate knowledge. Professors also assimilate knowledge. Then disseminating knowledge. That dissemination, when it reaches to students in a proper way, then it is called good teaching. And nowadays, when technology has become so, let us say, central to the whole scheme of dissemination of knowledge, one may ask question, what is the use of classroom teaching? But I am sure that classroom teaching will never become redundant. It will rather evolve further and further with the help of technology. So any professor should now act differently as we used to be 30 years back when there was no technology, and professor used to be sitting on the heap of knowledge. Students were on receiving end. Now students are also well informed. Professors are also well informed. So dissemination of knowledge is taking its now new look. So assimilation of knowledge, dissemination of knowledge. Third is creation of knowledge. Students also should be promoted to create knowledge along with, let us say, professors. And that takes shape of, let us say, research or writing or books or say some project. So creation of knowledge. And fourth is implementation of knowledge. So either be it IIM Indore or MDI Gurgaon or let us say IIM Trichy, assimilation, dissemination, creation and implementation, that remains constant. And on the other side of, let us say, academic administration in all 3 institutions, leading the institution to next higher level, because all 3 institutions are doing very well. It was doing well in the past years. Today also they are doing well. But still, they have not arrived because nothing has arrived. We are in the process of arriving. Continuous journey itself is achieving goal. There is no set goal where you have to get fixated and once you achieve goal, you become passive. No. It is not like that.
You write poetry and HR manuals. What's harder to get right, metrics or metaphors?
Well, poetry, sometime I write, and I have also 2 compilations. Those 2 books are published where I have not inserted my poetry, but these 2 books are called Jeevan Prabandhan ki Shayari and Jeevan Vikas ki Shayari. These 2 books, my compilation books, are already published. Now, poetry is the method or the way where you use least number of words and you give more amount of message, which can be called as speaking less and telling more. So poetry is high density communication means to disseminate your ideas. Now, you say either it is metrics or metaphor. You see, metaphor is an indirect way of reaching to something via media. And it is said in Sanskrit scripture that indirect communication many times is more effective than direct communication. For example, if I say you, Abhigya, please do it, it is direct communication. But if I give you a metaphor that how while doing something somebody achieved that thing, and then I say what lesson you get out of this, or if I use certain kind of upma, upme, what is called, isn't it? That is metaphor. Muhavara is different thing, kahavat is different thing, metaphor is different thing. But these all are means of beautifying your language, saying in indirect way, and actually persuading people to do. There is no imposition in case of metaphor. So that's why poetry is a very powerful tool. And that's why you see, it is said that in Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna said, among all 4 parts of Vedas, I am the Samved. Veda Samvedo Asmi. Samveda Asmi means I am among all the Vedas Samved, because Samved is in poetry form. So it seems God also loves poetry, and poetry is also the means of saying more by using least number of words.
Sure, sir. Sure. You have helped shape IIM Sambalpur, led IIM Indore, and now IIM Trichy. What's the future shape of Indian management system?
Well, Indian management, basically, we have to put very hard efforts for that. For getting anything that is precious, it is directly proportional to the how much effort you have put to achieve that. Very ordinary fruits are achieved by ordinary efforts or labor, and extraordinary fruits are achieved by extraordinary labor. So first of all, we have to actually contextualize the things from the Indian context. Now, a dichotomy or a confusion might arise that if we only give Indian example, then worldview will not be addressed properly. But if you take only examples from the books from where it was published, or American example for every occasion, let us say, then you are not contextual to the Indian situation. That's why learn from everyone, but imitate none is my simple formula. And even to individual student, I want to say, learn from everyone. Maybe non-human being also you learn, or from inanimate things also you learn. You can learn from a stone also. But imitate none, it means even if somebody is your favorite, please don't imitate. Only learn. And then with your own originality, you contextualize and then you put into action. For example, any case study has to be studied from in-depth angle, that what is the situation or context or the macro and micro variables which are actually capturing that whole phenomenon. And that's why you have to create indigenous course material, cases, by not neglecting the, let us say, the foreign cases, because they also have certain worldview. So you have to justify, not only to justify, you have to create a kind of grand equilibrium by having worldview and Indian view, so that distinction between these two should be collapsing. Knowledge is knowledge. We should not create division by creating walls between Western and Eastern, or Indian, non-Indian. But then to have original, let us say, source of literature or source of management model, we must put hard efforts jointly. And I think students also have responsibilities, and especially professors and knowledge creators have, or researchers have, more responsibilities.
So I think the future is definitely going to be making Indian education in line with the world education.
Certainly, certainly. And we are doing that.
Okay. Yes, sir. So my fifth question is, what do you think is more important during an MBA? Grades, networking, or exposure?
Fine. You see, one leads to another. There is no tug of war. For example, once a student joins MBA program, and if I ask a simple question to him or her, what is your first duty now? You have joined MBA program, you are in the first term, you are in the first week of the first term. What is your prime duty now? So prime duty is to be able MBA. Now, once you know what is able MBA, you understand that there is no tug of war. And I sometimes describe a wise person. A wise person is that person where other persons, they see kind of anomaly, And the wise person actually looks at deep down symphony amidst apparent anomaly outside. So everything is important. Be conceptually strong, because this may be your last opportunity in life to be conceptually strong. But don't be bookworm. Look around. And institution also should arrange for exposure to industry. Then connect industry practices with your knowledge. Connect practice with theory. And again, I say that there is no tug of war between theory and practice. I sometimes say, students, please be careful of that person who keeps pronouncing theory is theory, practice is practice. No, I don't believe in that. Theory is not sky dropped. It comes from practice. When you observe for a long time, then you create a framework, you join the dots, you theorize it, and you create a, let us say, model. So theory is well immersed into, let us say, practice. And then when practice is also nurtured by the theory which has been created, or certain kind of innovative practices which not yet has been practiced, then practice also flourishes well. So theory and practice, they all work in, let us say, in communion with each other. So students should be theoretically strong, must invest time for practical exposure. And then you said networking. Networking for the sake of networking does not pay anything. When you are with a purpose, and for that purpose you need to connect with people, and you connect with relevant people, then networking also is a natural offshoot of this entire endeavor to do integrated MBA. So theoretical clarity, conceptual clarity, practical exposure, networking, all these three are, let us say, well integrated. So we cannot say this versus that. Only do networking but don't study well. Only study well but don't get practical exposure. Only get practical exposure but remain weak in your theoretical, let us say, clarity. This will not work. That's why MBA is a leveler. Whole life it will give you benefit. That's why please justify your time well. And it does not mean that you should not play basketball or table tennis. Do everything. Sing a song, participate in the annual function. But please always ask a question, what is my prime duty? And around prime duty, when you do other things also get dignified. But if other things are well taken care and center is missed, then circle cannot be created.
Very well, sir. Great said.
Hi, I'm Sejal Sharma.
Sauradeep Chaudhary. मेरा CAT percentile 99.20 था.
Watching your videos and I kept watching them, and the motivation and your energy was just too high that it gave me the motivation that I can do it.
I'm very grateful to you because आपके मैं सारे lectures बैठा हूँ.
CATKing का जो interface है वो बहुत ही अच्छा है, एकदम CAT की तरफ.
क्या बात है? Whenever I used to feel लो आपका motivation देख लेती थी.
पापा मेरे से बड़े फैन हैं.
क्यों भाई?
क्योंकि जब मैं स्पीकर पे पढ़ता था या आपके वीडियो देखता था, तो बोलते हैं यार ये बंदा ना पढ़ाते हो सब ये मोटिवेट करता है तुम्हें, वो हवा भरती रहनी चाहिए हमेशा गाड़ी में.
Thank you so much, sir. And I would again like to thank all of you as the CATKing family. It's been a great experience.
Hit the bell icon.
I'll make